debating since around 7:30 this morning on how I was going to do this video. Even longer still because I didn't get to sleep till maybe like 1 something this morning. And this is the day that this is posted is the day that it's filmed. It is currently July 18th. And this is my realest tea story that will ever be on this channel. Ever. Why? Because this is supposed to be a channel full of positive unicorn things. Of course, not everything has been all unicorn and roses. Or, a better way to put it is unicorn and Skittles. But I want things to be happy on this channel. I want things to be, the only type of beef on this channel is like in debates, like which store has the best prices, or which Starbucks drink is the best one, or why do I have so many Starbucks cups? AKA, I don't fucking know at this point in time. But it's one thing to go ahead and talk shit about me. I don't care. I mean, sure, it hurts my feelings, but what's new about that? Everything hurts my feelings, apparently. But don't bring in other people who have nothing to do with it at all. With whatever problem you think you have with me, don't bring in other people. And the reason why I say this is because a person that I still care about, believe it or not, despite how much I want to go ahead and just off with her head, I just watched a video of hers recently. Now, I sometimes watch her videos that she does because she's trying to be a YouTuber. She has a good subscriber count. She's got 31 subscribers. I got my 5. I don't care. This is a hobby. And, maybe a little way for me to go ahead and get things off my chest. It makes things a little easier on me. But in the video, it was talking about the drama that was going on earlier this year. Now, I already know for a fact she doesn't watch my videos, so I'm going to try to make sure she watches this one. But let's start from the very beginning when I first met her. Also, there's some reoccurring people in this that's going to be in this tea time. Oh, I'm doing a tea time and I don't have tea. Ain't that a first? But the person who we just reconnected, let's go ahead and call her Jigglypuff. She's probably going to hate that name, but you know what? I like you and I like Jigglypuff. There you go. Her daughter is going to be Licky Tongue. Why? Because as a baby and even now she's constantly just licking that tongue out and trying to lick people. So there you go. You get the name Licky Tongue. We're going to call the friend that I'm calling out at this point. I got to stop calling her a friend because obviously she ain't a fucking friend. But anyway, we're going to call her Pikachu because that's what I've been calling her since I saw her little Pikachu backpack thing, which is the same one that I got over on my bed. And we're going to call, let's see, we already got 3. Right, so the friend that died last year, we're going to call her Torchic. Why? Because she likes Torchic. I could call her Flareon, but she was really into Torchic too, so. But that's just some of the people that's reoccurring. But we're going to start from the beginning when I first met Pikachu. When I first met her, I was new to DC. I was born in DC when I was a baby, but I didn't live there for very long. My mother moved back to Maryland. Cool things. So I'm new back to DC. I'm new in DC. I'd only been in DC for a short amount of time. I came at the end of my 8th grade year. So the last quarter of the school year is when I moved to DC, and I didn't meet her till I got into ninth grade, which is high school. My sister had started going to this writing club at the a middle school that I just graduated from in DC. So I was going with her because I'm like, oh, well, this seems pretty cool. I like to write. I do poetry. And I even write my own stories. I even read a chapter from one of my stories on here before. I might do that again. But anyway. I thought she was a really cool person. Like, everybody has their ups and downs. There's no way around it. Life throws you curveballs all the time. So it's like, I was like, okay, she's pretty cool peoples. And she was with this guy that I knew, that I had met before I met her. And he's pretty cool peoples too, when he wants to be. Other than that, he can be pretty darn irritating. But you know what? I guess that's why they were attracted to each other. Because they both two sides of the same coin. I'm not trying to throw shade. It may just come out that way, though. I have a very bad attitude right now. But, like, I don't know. If it's like everything was great when we first met. It sounds like every basic relationship. And sorry that my glasses keep glaring. I keep trying to make sure I'm looking at the camera. And at the same time, I keep noticing when the light glares on my glasses. I can't help it. I wear glasses. I'm trying to switch to contacts. But everything was fine. Everything was great. I was having so much fun hanging out with her. I even got in trouble with my own mother because I decided to go spend time with her and did not come home. So that's one thing. But it's like I would do anything for her. If I could do it, I did it. She asked me one day when she was pregnant with her first. Right. So when she got pregnant with her first kid, something that she don't talk about, because technically speaking, what happened was illegal. Baby daddy number one, who's also the dad of two of her kids, mind you, was underage when she got pregnant. And everybody knew it, but ain't nobody say nothing because we're like, this type of shit happens all the time, apparently. But it's like, later on down the line, like years later, they beefing and she calls him a pedophile because I guess he was dating some 18-year-old and she was trying to say, oh, you touched your daughter. When I know him, he wouldn't touch his own daughter. Now, as far as dating an 18-year-old, I don't know if that was true or not. But if she's 18, or maybe it was a 16, I don't know. I don't know the full details of that. I wasn't involved in that, so whatever that was. She tried to call him a pedophile, and at the same time, I'm like, you can't go ahead and call the police on him as far as being a pedophile because you're the one who had sex with him when he was underage. You were 18, he was 15. And you had his kid. And you had his second kid the year after. So, before you go off trying to call people a pedophile because you're mad, remember what you did. But I ain't say nothing either because I'm just like, well, they seem so in love. I mean, they have their moments where they have arguments, but don't all couples have those moments? I was naive. Very naive. Up until a certain point a few years ago. Like, about a year or two ago. And I was just like, no, I don't need to get in this. But it's like, at that time when she was pregnant with her first kid, I was like, so excited. Because I'm like, oh, a friend of mine is pregnant. I mean, I kind of would have wished. I was kind of on that moment like, oh, she should have waited till she graduated. But at the same time, I'm so happy for her because she seems so happy about it. So let's just be happy for her. Mind you, Ever since I was 7 years old, I wanted to be a mom. But at the time, at being 7, you don't know about what it means to be a mom. So you don't know all the things. And as I grew older, I learned. I still want to be a mom. I want to have a baby. But that's not in the cards right now. Also, if anybody tries to go on me because my hair's not done, it's because I did not cut enough yarn. And Jigglypuff, if you watching, do not say nothing about me not cutting enough yarn. I know you're going to try to say something. You should have been cutting yarn instead of trying to watch the anime. You should have cut the yarn first and make sure you cut enough. Girl, no. You don't have to remind me. But anyway. Where did I stop? Right. So I couldn't do much at the time because I'm 15 myself. So I'm still in high school. I don't have no part-time job. I just do it. I guess you can't really say I do it. My mother tells me, or else I wouldn't have gotten in trouble that one time. Go figure. But basically, I just do what I'm supposed to do. Just don't do nothing that could get me in too much trouble. So I'm just like, okay. Now, at that whole entire time, throughout this whole entire story, and this might end up being a 2-part or a 3-part video, because I'm not trying to make an hour or some long video. But throughout this whole entire time, I'm dealing with my own personal issues, some stuff going on in my head, and nobody knows about, well, now people know since I'm talking about it, but a lot of people did not know what was actually going on in my head. And as much as I wanted to tell them, I'm that type of person who will suffer in silence until the silence gets too much where I break. It's like when a little kid is constantly trying to stuff cookies in their mouth. Like if you give them soft, crumbly cookies and they just keep shoving them in their mouth until finally they can't fit no more cookie in there and the crumbles are just crumbling out of their mouth while they're trying to chew. They may choke a little. The heart attacks. But I didn't say nothing at all. I was just being happy for her. If she and her baby daddy were having issues, I would be there for her. I stood in her corner the entire time, not knowing what I was getting myself into. Now, sure, there were times where I have to admit I thought she was probably in the wrong. But like I said, okay, phone, okay. We're just going to unplug it then, since you're being difficult. Whoa. Rocking the boat. But I'm just like, you know, what harm could it do to be there for somebody who looks like she needs it? Fast forward, I'm in Georgia. She gets pregnant again by the same dude, and I'm not around for this one. I wasn't even around for the birth of the first one because my mother had moved us to Georgia. As much as I didn't agree with that move to Georgia, I was there. There's nothing I could do. I wasn't even 18 yet. So it's like, this is like pissing me off. And then I was having my own issues there because I didn't want to be there. I didn't. I wanted to fight and scream the whole entire process of moving. But at the same time, during that time where I was not living with my mother, I saw how sad she was about not having all of her kids under the same roof. Because she was even having my brother stay at his babysitter's house all week and then just go pick him up on Friday. So basically drop him off Monday, pick him up Friday. And I saw what that was actually doing to her. And I was like, I don't want to make her sad again, so I'll just go. But I didn't want to go. Well, what could I do? I noticed that I tend to put other people's needs and wants before my own. which explains how I ended up in a lot of the predicaments that I ended up in this in my life in general. But also, I'm not trying to make myself out to be a saint. I know who I am. I'm not a good person, or at least not a very good one at all. I cause a lot of trouble. I know I do. Who moving around outside? I'm hearing car doors shutting. Whatever. But so I'm like happy for her again. I'm like, you really should have waited because you just had the first one. The first one's not even. Was he one? No, he wasn't even one yet. He was about to turn one. So I'm like, you probably should have waited a little while longer before you had your next kid. You still gotta think about finishing high school, because I can't remember if she had finished at the time. I know she went back to school. I think she did online school, I think she did online school, because she didn't stay in school for part of her pregnancy because of all the drama that was going on. There was just too much going on at school, because she went to school with me after a while. Well, not with me, but she went to the same school I was attending at the time. So, but of course, again, I'm going to be happy for her because she seems happy about it. And I'm just like, be happy for her. That's your friend. We was basically like twins. We was calling each other twinsy or twins. And I'm like, oh, have a very beautiful friendship. I'm so happy. And then I'm happy for her because she's happy. That's literally my thought process at that time. Be happy for other people because they're happy. If they weren't happy, then that means there's a problem, right? So again, I'm still dealing with stuff because I'm in a whole nother state that I don't want to be in. It's very hot in Georgia. So to the people who live there or move there and stay there, congratulations. You can do what I cannot. I don't deal with heat very well. It makes me very uncomfortable. But that's a whole nother story time. Or tea time, whatever you want to call it. Anyway. Let's see. Let's fast forward some more. Moving back. I'm probably trying to take screenshots maybe of no, never mind. I would take screenshots, but that involves a whole lot of scratching out of my Facebook name as well as hers, because don't nobody need to really find my personal Facebook page. And then just no. The one time I accidentally shared my snap code on social media, ended up with one person already trying to friend me on Snapchat, and I'm like, no. See, that's what we're not going to do. But I'm just like happy to be going home finally, because I'm like, finally I get to get out. There's heat, because even when it's wintertime, it's freaking hot, and I'm just like, didn't we just have some snow? Why is it so hot? I'm doing my best to try to remember things as accurately as possible, because I know me, I forget things a lot. So that's why if you see me skipping past some large chunks of time, it's probably because I don't remember that time frame clearly enough to be like, okay, this happened, then that happened, then that happened. So I'm going to try my best to remember as much as possible. But So we're both happy. I'm finally moving back. I had come back for a short split second at like during spring break before we moved back. So I got to see her then. So it's like, okay, things still seem to be good with us. We still seem to be good friends. So I'm happy. I moved back. Things are still good. I'm doing a bit more. I'm trying to finish up school. And she's pregnant. No, I don't. Yeah, she's pregnant with her third. And I'm like, okay, I mean, at least there's a little bit of distance in between this one and the last one. But I'm just like, is it really time for a third one? But like I said, I didn't know this until sometime after I'd moved back that she was expecting a third kid. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. You seem happy. But this kid is not by the same guy. It's by a different dude. So we have two dads now. And I'm like, okay, well, they seem to be happy, so I'll be happy for her. Again, I'll be happy for anybody who's considered a friend of mine, close friend, distant friend, whatever. If something in your life is making you happy, I will be happy for you. Why? Because what's the reason for me to go ahead and be unhappy about it? Just because good things happen to you does not give me the right not to be happy for you. I mean, I can go ahead and not be happy for you, but would that really make me a good friend? I don't think so. Which is why I would rather be happy for you, no matter what I'm feeling personally. And personally, I was like, I don't think you should be having a third one right now. But I'm not about to tell her what to do with her life. It's her life. She's an adult. Or at that time, she was an adult. Still is. I guess I can't keep saying the word was when they still are. So, Pikachu, doing her thing. She has a place. But of course, that is with the government. Actually, no, I don't think it's the government. She got into a program. Because she has her own issues that she's got to deal with. Mental issues and stuff. Anger management and stuff. I said two things and I still said the words and stuff. So she also gets food stamps and TANF. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool and all. And it's like, she's getting all this stuff. And I'm like, happy for her because she has a way to go ahead and take care of her kids until she can go ahead and get herself a job. Because in my head, I'm just like, okay, this is just to help you out for right now. What you need to do is get your stuff together so you can get yourself a job, get the kids into some type of daycare, and that way they can go ahead and get on their path to going to school, and you can make some money and stop depending on the government so much, because the government can't take care of you forever. It's just not going to happen. Or maybe it can. You never know. So, that time, she was going through stuff with whatever housing she was in because she couldn't exactly do what she wanted to do. She couldn't have people over. They couldn't even come inside the building. Like, we couldn't even wait in the lobby. And it's just like, oh, well, you know what, that's okay. Now, they're out that entire time. If my grandmother or if my mother could help her out, they did too. They just sent the stuff through me because I was the friend. And I tell her where the stuff came from. Because obviously at the time I didn't have a job yet. Once I finally finished my schoolwork, that's when I got a job. But throughout that entire time, she had moved to another place. She had gotten into another program. And that program was not only helping her with her housing, but also helping her to go to school. College. Now you're getting help, and then not only that, you're getting help to go to college. You're not having to pay nothing out your pocket, really. Because One, you don't have a job. Two, you're getting TANF, so that's government money right there. That's tax money on people who have jobs. And three, your school is sending you checks. Your school is sending you checks. So technically speaking, you're getting paid to go to school. That's all great and gravy and all. And I'm like, okay, I got my job. I start doing even more for her now. Because I'm like, during that time, I was having trouble trying to get back and forth to her house and back to where I was living at. Because I'm like, I want to go spend time with her. I want to go hang out with her. But it's like, I would have to keep asking my mom to drive me over there. And it's like, oh, well, why doesn't she just go ahead? And my mom asked me this, too. Why doesn't she go ahead and give you money to get back and forth to her house? Now, of course, I had an answer in my head, but I didn't. That answer never came out my mouth, and I still was lost for a long time about why it didn't come out. In my head, my answer was because she has to take care of her kids with her money. And I'm just like, but wait a minute. That I know raising kids is expensive, and having to get stuff for a new baby that's coming soon can also be expensive. I know. I've bought stuff myself with my money recently and back then when I first started working. So it's not like I don't know. But at the same time, I'm like, she was the one asking me to come over, and she knew that during that time I didn't really have any money to really be coming over. And it's just, yeah. I just don't know. But I didn't question it. Why? Because I'm like, she has her own things that she got to take care of. She's got a phone bill, she's got rent that she has to pay, but then I also realized that her rent was $65 maybe. And she had a very nice place. It was multi-level, 3-bedroom, so living room, back porch, a backyard that she had to share with her neighbor, but her upstairs neighbor. But even still, you have a nice setup for $60. Whatever program you're in, let me in, because I wouldn't mind having to only pay $60 for rent. And then, like I said, she also had her phone bill. She wasn't paying for daycare because I think she got daycare vouchers as well. So there's that. And then, like I said, she's getting food stamps and TANFs, and she's getting paid from her college. So whatever books she was a very thrifty buyer. So when she bought her school books, she always had money left over. So at the end of the day, I didn't have an accurate answer to give my mother as to why she couldn't loan me a couple dollars to get back and forth by bus or train. And it bothered me that I couldn't answer my mother. We're going to end this part here, and I'm going to pick up recording in just a moment. But this is going to be a multi-part thing because that's almost at 30 minutes, and I still have to put the intro and the outro in this thing, so that we're about to have some 35 minute videos. Peace until part 2.